gratitude practice isn't just this feel-good thing to just generally improve your day every day. We're here to teach you how to perform as a fighter as well. So how does this make you more dangerous as a fighter? Well, the fighter, the person who has trained themselves to constantly look for opportunities, to look for openings, to look for things that they want to have happen, is going to make them more dangerous than a person who's constantly trying to avoid somebody else who's doing everything to them. Without getting too deep into that, you're basically giving up free will in that sense. When I'm trying to avoid everything somebody's doing to me, I'm basically saying, whatever you're doing, I'm putting all of my attention onto you, and I'm saying, I got to stop you from doing that. But that doesn't give me the space to think about, like we said before, what I want to have happen. But gratitude practice shifts that mindset. It starts to retrain those neural pathways that make you stare at the thing that you don't want to have happen, or the pole that you don't want to hit, or at the thoughts and feelings that are not helpful to make you a better performer, and helps us shift to focus on what we want to have happen, where we want to find those openings, looking for what I need to make myself successful that gets me closer to my goals and to what I want to have happen. So the goal here, the practice that we're going to have you do, is you're going to take that journaling that you've been doing and you're going to turn it into a gratitude practice. Now that you've built that first new habit, this is now going to start noticing things that you are grateful for, 2 to 3 things that are specific and recent. You can do this and it's up to your preference. You can do this in the morning, which I personally prefer and support because I feel like it sets you up for the rest of the day, or before bed, because some other people have reported that it helps them feel like they sleep better when they acknowledge their gratitude.
Great. All right, guys, I would like to offer a couple examples of the way that I make this work for me, because like I said, I want this to be helpful in your guys' performances, of course, but I also want you guys to love what you're doing every day. And the gratitude practice, this idea of mental agility is incredibly important in just being able to understand yourself better and just love the game a little bit more. So I know for me, I used to personally be so upset when I would have a bad day in training. Like if we were sparring on Tuesday and I had a bad day where I didn't do well, it would literally ruin my entire week until I got to spar again, do better, and then feel better. That wasn't a very happy life, you know, and it's not necessary either. Gratitude practice is something that is definitely, you know, like morning routine, nighttime routine, but you can also incorporate it into your actual sport piece where after a hard day of sparring, whether I did good or whether I didn't do good, I know that we've talked about this. Yeah. I think you gave me this exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. You know, Joey gives me all the exercises that I do. But I would, after sparring, lay down and I would go over 3 things that I really liked that I did. 3 things that went really well. Before I started dwelling on, I sucked today, I'm this, I'm that, you know, which it's not necessary. Mainstream culture, sorry to get going too much on, like, I don't want this to turn into like, I hate society, Corey. You know, I'm not going to be that guy. But mainstream culture will lie to you and tell you that you need to be hard on yourself in order for you to make improvements. And that's just not true. And I really want that to be really highlighted because it's not true. You know, like when I would have a hard day sparring, I would do the 3 things I did really well. And then I would go over 3 things that I could have done better. And that's the way that I would frame it in my head so that I'm not upset at myself or I'm not, you know, like feeling like the rest of the week is going to be horrible. So that's one other exercise that you guys can add in. I also will do this a lot when I'm going through, you know, a fight camp or just having a tough day or during fight week, especially when I'm doing a bunch of stuff that I really don't care to do. Like I don't enjoy media the same way that maybe a lot of other people enjoy media. I don't enjoy cutting weight like everyone else in the entire world doesn't enjoy cutting weight. Yeah, no one enjoys that. I like to pause in the morning during my fight week and really go over, okay, I'm grateful that I'm here. I'm grateful, and obviously a lot more specific like you said, but I'm grateful that the media session went well the way that it went. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for this because it is really hard, man. Like we're wired to be avoidant. We're wired to be a little bit negative, and that's a really important piece. You can take that into your fighting. You can take that post-sparring. You can take that into your fight weeks just to make it a little bit easier. Because like I said, you're not doing any good by beating yourself up, telling yourself that you suck. That doesn't do any good. I'm not saying be Mr. Positivity all the time, but I'm saying be realistic about what's actually happening. And the fact of the matter is after a sparring session, I don't suck. I just did a few things wrong that I need to work on for next time. So that's the video on mental agility. Let's get into our next video. Again, take a week, practice all of this, get better at it, and then we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, guys.